we go. Hi, Julie. Happy Valentine's Day.
Hi, Tina. Happy Valentine's Day.
Don't we look
It's here.
cute?
Don't we, though? Look, we are all in our props.
Yeah,
We're ready for you. Yes.
yeah, yes. And it's funny because it's like you're wearing a red top with red heart ears
Yes.
or band, and I've got pink hearts and a pink top. So yeah, it worked out good.
And these are my makeshift ears. I cut little paper hearts.
They're cute though. They look so
Thank you.
cute.
You look
Yeah.
adorable.
Oh, thanks.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. We're going to bring in this
Hmm.
energy of love,
Yes, yes. And
right?
we just started, so as we're waiting for people to come in and watch, I guess I should go into the comments room.
Yes,
We're
yes,
just going to have a
yes.
little chit chat. It's Valentine's Day, and we thought we would pick the subject around love. And we picked the theme love, 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 and more love because that also happens to be one of the messages for the month of February when we did the forecast a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we're going to talk about love. I mean, I don't know how this is going to go. We're just, it's
No, me either.
unscripted. Yeah, we
We
didn't
never
come up
do.
with a plan. So we just, and if there's anyone that's watching, if you want to join the chat room, like the conversation, we encourage that. We welcome that. Please add whatever you feel like saying, your thoughts, your beliefs. If you have a question,
Yeah.
experience, you need help getting over a heartache, because I mean, it's not always happy for people today, right?
That's
So,
right. Yeah.
mhm,
Right? There's a lot that goes into Valentine's Day, a lot of
yes.
emotions. For younger people, my daughter hates it. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like a slap in the face if you're not with somebody or not sharing right now, but
Yeah.
typically,
Yeah.
right? Hello,
Yes.
Jessica. Happy Love Day to you.
Yes. Yeah, that is nice. I like that.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know. Yeah. And I think for those who are single, well, maybe even those who are in a relationship, because if your relationship, if it's not a happy one, or you feel
Yeah, could be a slap
alone,
in the
because
face.
sometimes you could be in a relationship and feel alone, then it
Oh,
could be
yeah.
a sad day too. Yeah, because of all the reminders, because of all the hype with all the stores and commercials. And yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's easy to fall into that kind of energy too when you're feeling like scorned. Like you remind yourself of all the ways that people have scorned you, right? And
Yeah.
so you just look for more proof of why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And so with the
Hmm.
energy of love, it's all about the mind and where you're going with that. It's easy to feel rejected when you're thinking of all the times you were rejected. But if you think back of the times when you weren't rejected, when things worked out for you, when you had that energy flowing, and it was easy and free,
Yeah.
and then that gets that momentum going, right? You're inviting it more into your life, more into your heart, and so it's all about
Yes.
momentum. Yeah,
Yes. And I think, you know what I want to say, I feel like it's better.
yeah,
As I mean, I don't have cable TV, so I can't really speak of like what it's like on TV with ads, but like when I'm out and about, because I go out and about, I'm not a hermit. I feel it's not
I am.
the commercialized. I mean, it's still commercialized, but I feel
Yes,
like maybe the people, like maybe like us society, don't get so hung up about it like when I was like 20 years ago, for instance,
yeah,
or 10 years ago. Because
right,
I feel
right.
like, like I'm going to admit I'm single, and I'm not so hung up about like not having, someone in my life to celebrate this day right now. Whereas maybe 20 years ago, I would have been like, boo hoo hoo, I'm all alone, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
But
feeling that energy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. I love Jessica. She says you're never alone if you have a doggy in your life, and she got puppy kisses today, right?
Oh, that's
Isn't that where
sweet.
it starts, where you're just allowing that love to generate from the
Yeah,
doggies? I have three. I love them. I got
yeah,
lots of puppy kisses today.
yeah, yes,
Hello, Hazel. I'm so glad to see you here. And Jacqueline and Tia. Hello. Happy
yeah,
Valentine's Day.
yes, yes. Hello, ladies. Welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess, a lot of people say it's first and foremost is, love yourself and have love for yourself, which isn't always easy to do because how many how many of us are brought up where if you do love yourself, it's looked upon as being vain,
Selfish, right?
selfish, yeah,
Yeah,
especially with women.
yeah,
Yeah, because it's like we're brought up like, okay, to please the other or to please everyone else, right? Except for
right.
yourself. Yeah,
Of course,
yeah,
we are the
hmm
nurturers of the world. So we're
yeah.
supposed
So,
to take care of everybody else.
yeah, yeah. So,
Right? That feminine energy doesn't have to be women. Men are like this too with their if
hmm
they have more feminine energy. I mean, it's all about energy with me. I'm even with tarot cards, I'm not so much of a tarot card reader as an energy reader.
right.
So I feel the energy from the cards. And so when I'm talking about the energy of love, that's what I'm talking about is that feeling, the emotions that are invoked. It's all about energy. So that is what you can get going on momentum, right? That's where you can really
Yeah,
start taking care of yourself and loving yourself and accepting. It's all about acceptance too, unconditional love, right?
yeah,
Accept yourself and all your
yeah.
flaws.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Because love is love,
Right.
right? So, and a friend of mine, oh, I wish she was here. I should have wrote it down. I should have asked her. She shared this beautiful analogy. I'm going to try to repeat it.
Okay, you go
So
for it.
I'm going by memory. So she said, think of, you know, yourself in a room with love and pretend love is in the room with you. It's just you and love. And there's two chairs in this room and you're in one chair and sitting across from you in the other chair is love.
Okay.
And it's just the two of you. Okay. And love is not a distinct person. It's just the energy. And you could think of it like, let's say the word love is sitting in this chair.
Okay.
And you could say, you can give everything you've got to love. Like you could say anything that, whether it's hateful, whether it's loving, whether it's likable, whether it's sad, joyous, whatever. And love is always going to reply back, but I love you, but I'm love.
Oh,
And that's
I like
okay.
that. Yeah.
And I don't know if like, I know it's not the same words like she's describing, but it hit home here with me because
Yeah.
it's like, that's so, so true.
Yeah.
Because love is love. Like, I mean, there's different kinds, yes, and there's different types and there's different levels. But love, no matter what, I mean, the worst things in our world could happen, and love is
Yeah.
going to be, but I'm just love,
Right.
right? I'm
And
still
love
going to
love.
love you. Yeah. And it's still about the love, and I'm going to send love and be love. So that I thought was just beautiful,
Oh,
and
yeah.
just really helps, like hits home, especially when we're hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
And when we put ourselves down, because that's what, we tend to do that. I'm not going to talk about the other person, but it's, bringing it on us. And it's like, okay, um, this helps, to be more loving for ourselves and to share the love and to show love and to receive love. Yeah.
Yeah.
To
For
give
sure.
it. Yeah. Because we need it. Like, I feel like, I mean, so many people right now, I feel like are craving love,
Yeah.
right?
For sure. They
Yeah,
are.
like they just want
Yeah.
to know, like, is all this for something? Do I truly matter? Do I count? Am I
Yeah.
lovable? Do you love me? Right? Because yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What
For
do you feel?
sure.
Hmm.
I feel like it all starts with us. It really does. If you're not feeling that that stand in love, you have to really fight for it because it's easy to fall back into the mind and to the past, right? We're always
Yeah,
judging our future by our past.
yeah,
So it's easy to fall
wow,
there. It starts with us, it's a mind shift. It really is. It's an elevation out of call it dark night of the soul, whatever you want to call it. We all go through this period where we feel unlovable. And then we
yeah,
gather all of these times when we were unlovable, right? And so it just there's that momentum building, you know. So it's just a shift. It's a conscious shift though. You don't just fall into love. You have
Yeah.
to work your way there, you know, and it starts with us. It really does. I've been
Yeah.
married 36 years this October.
Uh,
There's been periods, you know, where we're in and out, where we're not connecting, where we're just not flowing right together, you know, and that starts with me. It's because I've had a bad day at work, or I've had somebody said something to me that hurt, and it triggered something, you know, from before. It had nothing to do with Michael, you know, but I'm coming home now, I'm on guard, you know. And so it's a conscious thought. I have to really breathe that away then before I bring that
mm,
home to my marriage, because it's all these externals that affect us, right? And you come home, and he says something he said a million times to me, and now I'm on guard, you know, because of something
yeah.
somebody else has done, you know, it has nothing to do with that. So it's a conscious thought. It really is, to open your heart again to feeling pain, because that's what you're doing, right? You're
Yeah.
letting your guard down and you're allowing your heart to feel pain again. But on the other side of that, you're allowing your heart to feel love again. Because when we're shut down and guarded, we block everything out, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. And
allowing,
that's why, yeah. And I
yeah,
feel like, yeah. And I mean, oh my gosh, it always comes down to love. And I know it might sound
yeah,
hokey. People say, oh, there's more to life than that. And it's like, yeah, like there's other factors in life, but it truly does come down to love. And I've started this practice this month where, and I mean, I've seen results, but I mean, I have to keep at it. Um, where if something gets to me or I'm feeling, if I'm feeling down or disappointed, upset, nervous, like whatever emotion, I will try to stop myself and I'll say, I'm going to love, 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 and more love. That's what I've been saying, that phrase that we
yeah,
have on the screen.
yeah,
And it doesn't necessarily mean like didn't disappear, but I just feel like there's some value. Like I'm going to try it. What do I have to lose? If I, just say those words over and over again and imagine that love energy going to that emotion or going to that concern or, to whatever that trouble.
yeah,
It's like I'm giving it the
yeah,
grace of love. Like I'm just giving it, the grace to work out somehow, some way.
yeah,
And I give myself love in this
yes,
meantime too, because it's like, take it easy, be gentle, be loving, like things can be so um
intense,
intense. Life, yeah, life,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I mean, there's some good things to our world, but there's also, some things where like the pressure to perform or the pressure to be, it's it's overwhelming or it's daunting. And it's like, okay, why can't I just love the life that I have? Or why can't I just love me for me? So if I'm not, if the perfect weight, or I don't have the perfect look, or, the perfect clothes, or whatever, yeah, it
right?
makes
We fall
things
into that.
easier. Yeah, it
Yeah,
brings some sort of healing or peace or calm. So I
yeah,
recommend to everyone who's listening, just try it. Every time you feel um, any kind of emotion where it gets to you, whether it's related to yourself, a person, a situation, a project, an area of life, take a moment, take a breath, and just send it love, love. Say those words, love, 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 and more love. I'm giving it more love, 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 and more love. And if you imagine like you've got an angel doing it, or if you think I got a wand, and it's like
yes,
love, love, and more love, right?
yes. I have my
Whatever it
wand
is,
too.
or you're sending it like light, or
Yeah.
yeah, you do that and just give it a go. But do it, you have to do it constantly.
Yes, it has to be a
Yeah.
conscious decision, because
Yeah.
we fall into that. I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I find the
Hmm.
perfect partner. I'll be happy when I make
Yeah.
enough money. I'll be happy when. And you have to remind yourself that you have what's abundant in your life right now. What am I grateful for right now today? How can I be happy today without
Yeah.
all of that stuff of whens? Those whens are coming.
That.
So don't forget to stay in the
Yeah.
moment,
And when is now?
and when is now. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
When is now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now. So
Yeah.
don't forget that, just be mindful that we can live out our future just too much. Life is what happens while we're busy planning for it.
Yeah.
So plan for life, plan for abundance, plan for love. Um, but it's in your life right now. It's somewhere. It's somewhere in your life right now, and
Yeah.
dig that out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it opens that flow. It sends you downstream. It sends you down that current of love coming into your life, because when it's the law of attraction kicks in too. And I'm never going to be with someone. I'm never going to have a partner. I'm never going to have, in that the universe hears that and the universe complies with that.
Mm-hmm.
So bring it into your house today. If it's your doggy, that's perfect start right there. I am so
Yeah.
grateful for you for loving me unconditionally, because nobody loves you
Yeah.
unconditionally like a pet.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So get that law of attraction in place at the right, in the right place. Start
Yeah.
now with that, because I'll be happy when, and your life just keeps going by.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to, like, there's this trick I learned from a law of attraction teacher. And he said the easiest way to attract more of what you want or what you like is to love it.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
if you say, like, oh, let me see, let's say you love chocolate. Okay.
I do.
Why not? Because it's the day for chocolate. Every day is a day for chocolate.
That's
So
right.
let's say you say, I love chocolate. Oh my gosh, I love chocolate. And it'll be interesting to see, like, okay, does chocolate appear? I mean, I don't mean like you go to the store, yeah, of course you're going to see chocolate everywhere, but I mean where it comes to you, like someone gives you chocolate out of the blue,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
It's
it's,
true.
I mean,
It
yeah, that
does
might not
come
be
to
the
you.
greatest example I'm trying to think, but I mean, like, the more you put love into something, or the more you love something, because it goes both way, but also when you hate something, you get more of that too. That's what the law of attraction is. It goes both
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
So the
Right.
more you can send love to something, or love, yeah, love energy
Yeah.
behind it, the more of it you will receive.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Happy Valentine's Day to my mom. She's on
mhm,
here. So I think it was Friday or Saturday, she fell and she really hurt her shoulder and her knee
yeah.
really
Oh,
bad. And then my dad fell, and just getting something out of the door, and he hit his head and hurt his elbow. So it's just like, oh my God. So I am sending them. My mom and dad need the energy of love so badly. So anyone who is watching this, please just send them
they're
love.
they're
And so
falling in love with each other
they're
all over
falling
again.
in love all over again, 65, 6 years later.
Yeah.
And they're learning each other's all over again too, because of all this stuff they've had to go through. So you
Yeah.
you do learn your entire life. There's all these things, and
Yeah.
it's amazing how it changes. The only constant is change. So whatever you're going through, hang in there, because it will change.
Yeah. So I just want, we've got some other ladies who joined us too.
Hello, ladies. Oh, there's
Yeah.
Arlene and Eleanor and Mara,
Yeah.
Jillian. I think
Jillian.
Jillian's
Yeah.
on
So
too.
welcome everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Love Day. If anybody wants to add anything or share a cute little story, I heard you shuffling cards,
Yeah, I
Julie.
was just seeing what was popping out. If anyone
I'm going to
wants
share
to
a cute little
speak.
story. So
Yes.
both my parents have passed away for a while, but they got engaged on Valentine's Day.
Did they?
Yeah, they
That's
did.
wonderful.
Yeah, I know.
You
They
must have a
they
great Valentine's story.
yeah, and I want to say believe I was conceived around Valentine's Day because of 9 months later,
In
right?
November. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but I like to think so.
I think it is.
I like to think I'm a baby. I'm a baby of love. I don't know,
You're a
or a
baby
love
heart.
baby.
You are. That's why you're so loving. I get
Uh, I
it.
try to be.
That's
I try
beautiful.
to be. I know I'm going to admit to a lot of people listening to. I want to. I think I'm pretty good at sending love to other people and loving other people, but I have a hard time loving myself completely.
Yeah,
And I'm
I
pretty
think
sure I'm
that's
not the
true.
only one. Yeah. So
Yeah,
this is like my year to really, truly be loving and not just for other people, but, for myself. Oh, and this is the other thing I wanted to share because a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but there's those, that confuse love and like. Right? So it's like
yeah,
if I love someone or if I send love to something or someone, that means I agree. And it's like, no, it doesn't mean that.
yeah,
Because love is just love, right? So it
yeah,
just, you don't have to like the person, you don't have to like the situation or like whatever. But if you can send it love energy and let it come from here, like the heart, that makes the difference. I don't know if that makes sense. So, I mean,
yeah,
because there's times where, like, I've got people in my life that I don't like, and there's public figures that I don't like,
yeah.
but I
Right.
will try to send them love. Instead of trying to think of them in a bad light or send bad energy to them, I will try because it's like, I don't want bad energy sent to me. I don't want bad energy to come back to me.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'll try to, I mean, it's not always easy to do, right? Because we're human, right? When we get hurt or we feel wrong. But I mean, I try to send love out because it's like, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just a tiny bit, just to make
Yeah.
peace. Even if it's just about making peace, that's what it,
Right.
you know, can make all the
Yeah.
difference.
The
Yeah, and it makes
energy
a
of
difference for how,
forgiving.
yeah, for you, yeah, because it
Yeah.
comes, yeah, because you don't want it to affect you. You don't want to carry
No.
that burden of hate
No.
or hurt or whatever, you
No.
know. Hmm.
No. Who wants that? And we all do. We all carry
Yeah,
it with us.
yeah,
There's this little piece of you that just never wants to forget
yeah.
that. But you don't have to, but you can forgive it for yourself. It doesn't mean you have to even tell the other person I forgive you.
Hmm.
But you can forgive, and forgive yourself for your role in it. It's like
Yeah,
you if you feel like you got duped, or you're feeling like you should have known better,
yeah.
forgive yourself for that.
Yeah, yeah, give yourself some love. It's like it's
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, you
right.
learned. Like it's yeah, that's how we learn too. I
That's
mean, it's a
right.
tough lesson, but yeah. Okay, should we have a little bit of fun? Should we have fun?
Yeah.
Let's have
Yes.
some fun.
Who wants to have some fun?
So it's funny because I dug out. I never did these cards for anybody.
Yeah.
Never. I bought this deck years ago for
Ooh,
myself, and I only played them for me. But
I can't wait to
I
see
got
this.
I got the Love Tarot cards.
Oh
I got Love
my.
Tarot. I don't have
Fabulous.
the box anymore because, I just kept it in a cloth bag. But yeah, that's what the light's not very good. And
Yeah.
what's that first card? Six of
Good.
Lightnings. See, and I'm like, am I going to be able to decipher? Because I don't know, you guys. I don't do this for the public, but I thought it'd be interesting to pick a few cards for everybody today, like what kind of day it'll be,
I love it.
and we can
Yes.
play around. I think, yeah, she calls them, whoever created this deck, some of these cards, like, they're referred differently from like regular tarot. So lightnings would be, I think, swords.
I think so. I was thinking Six of Swords when you said that.
Yeah. And then she's got blossoms. So I would say that be like the cups,
Hmm.
right?
Or
And
blossoms could be earth. Ugh. What
well,
what are the what are the signs in there? What are they? Blossoms? Yeah,
yeah,
gotta
so flowers, like kind of
be.
lovey-dovey, and
Yeah, it's gotta be
hearts,
cups. Yeah,
and
cups.
hearts. Yeah, like there's
Yeah,
and nuggets, I would say would be the money. What's the money? Pentacles.
earth, pentacles.
Pentacles.
Yes.
And what's left? What's left? Rods.
Rods.
No,
Yes,
rods.
wands.
Wands. So
Yeah.
wands. Um, okay, rods.
Rods. There you go. Oh,
Rods
they're
would be
beautiful.
yeah. So,
I
and
love
it's
these.
interesting because yeah, so it'll be interesting. So I'm gonna shuffle and I'm just gonna ask in divine light and love. I'm gonna pick 3 cards at random
Okay. Love it.
for how is everyone's Valentine's Day gonna go
Yeah, let's see.
for everyone? Like it's all gonna be the same for everyone,
I love it.
whether you're single or not,
The collective
whether
read.
you're on your dying deathbed or you're just born.
I love it. Let's see what we get. Come on, Tina, make it
Or I
good.
should say, what's the energy today? That's what I should say. The energy for Valentine's Day for the collective today.
Come on. Mama
Mhm.
needs a new pair of shoes. Make it good.
And I won't look at them until.
Look at Arlene working on forgiveness because she has 2 ex-son-in-laws and she's connected by grandbabies. So there's a perfect example, right? You have
Yeah,
to forgive certain things. Now, those are your daughters you're talking about. So you're protective over those.
yeah. So I
And
would
those
say,
emotions.
Arlene, try, I don't know if Arlene, if you were here from the beginning, but when we were sharing, like, try the exercise of love, 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 and more love. So just send your ex-son-in-laws, just picture them in your head and just like go love, 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 and more love. And then walk away. Like
Yeah.
leave it be, and then
Leave
just
it be.
continuously do this, like even if it's just for 10 seconds every day, and maybe you up it, as you progress, and maybe it'll be interesting to see if you see a change and notice a change in like their behavior and interactions, how they, you know um, how everyone feels about each other. It'd be interesting.
Very.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
I'm gonna need your help.
Okay. I'll try my best.
So the first card is Princess. Oh, the glare is bad. Princess of Lightnings.
Princess of, so it is the lightning is the swords and
And it would be Page, I would think.
page, page
I
of
think.
swords.
I
Yeah,
think.
page of swords. Learning,
Or maybe.
absorbing, watching in, looking in, feeling like messages coming too with pages, but a learning, a listening in, a gathering of information. So that's what that card says to me.
Okay.
Gathering
Now I'm gonna have
information
to try
about
to interrupt.
love.
And I'm like, duh, duh. I don't know what to say. Oh my gosh. What
think
am I
think
doing?
of the
They're gonna
jack.
think she's a
Think of the
psychic.
think of the jack of spades. Yeah, jack of spades. What would that mean to you?
Okay, but it's interesting because I just flipped over the other 2 cards and there's a prince. So they've got prince,
Oh, so they've got
princesses.
feminine and masculine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prince and princess, and they've got queen and king. So it's a
Okay.
see, it's different from
It
regular
is different.
tarot.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this is feminine energy, something fiery. That's what I get.
Yes. Yeah.
Fiery, maybe? I don't know. So I feel um like people maybe feel like, okay, if let's say if I want to say, it's almost like it doesn't matter if I'm in a relationship or not today, because I'm still going to celebrate, or I'm still going to do what I do normally on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Like that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe not as many people are going to be hung up on whether they're celebrating it or not today.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and
Beautiful.
I feel like um, Valentine's Day like might take on new meaning, or it's celebrated, you know, um, like who the person is rather than what you have. I think that's what I want to go with.
I like that.
So the next 2 cards. Well, no, the next card, the 2 came out together, so that's why I kept them together.
Okay.
So let me put my. So that says companionship, and it's number 7.
Oh,
So that would be like the
companionship.
chariot.
Yeah.
Okay, so see the 2 birds
Perfect
and the
for
couple,
Valentine's Day. Yes.
and then
Love it.
Prince of Blossoms.
Prince of Blossoms. So the Page of Cups.
Yeah.
Look, I love your cards. So there's a message of love. And in the Page of Cups, it's the same way as well. A message coming in about love or outgoing. You could be giving someone a message about love,
Mm.
but expressing yourself.
Yeah, and it's interesting how it says companionship.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering like this is I feel like this could be where like a lot of people are maybe sharing well wishes. Not it's not just about let's say my partner, like my intimate relationship, like my husband, wife, partner,
Yeah.
whatever
Right.
you refer your personal relationship as, but like to, my friends. I feel like this is like about friends. Like I
Yeah.
love my
It,
friends and
yeah.
I'm lucky for the friends I have and I'm gonna share some love with my friends.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's
wondering if
great.
it's been like a time where like people are really valuing friendships or looking at their friendships, yeah, more
That's
than let's
ideal.
say intimate love.
Yeah. Right.
It could be too like maybe there are those who feel like they want to, who they spend their who they spend their time with. It's like likable. Do I like this person? Like it's not just about the passion and the fire, but like
Yeah.
what do we have in common? And is it easygoing? Is it,
Yeah.
yeah, friendly? Does that make sense? Yeah.
I love that. Looking for ways, right?
Yeah.
Looking for things to connect with. Yes.
And then the last card, this is a lovely card. I'm glad like no nothing like the tower or the devil came
I
out.
know. Right?
This one
You're lucky.
is the 10 of nuggets.
Ooh, the 10 of Pentacles.
So that one, like, look at the hands are holding the planet, and there's two
Yeah.
cranes. So this deck, they use a lot of cranes in it.
I love
But
that.
yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at there's 8
Yeah.
pentacles though,
That's
or 8
interesting.
coins, or 8 balls. I don't know what they would.
Yeah.
I
8
guess
nuggets.
balls. Yeah, 8 nuggets.
8 nuggets.
Yeah.
So the 10 of Pentacles is a happy home life, a
Mm,
stability, abundance in all areas, not just love, but security and contentment for
mm.
sure. I love that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like
Very
maybe where
nice.
our values are. Yeah. And it could be where
Yeah.
like maybe people are saying like um hmm,
Yeah.
maybe it's like okay, it's not about I almost want to say it's like yeah, the value and the worth, but also
Yeah.
maybe where people are thinking like okay, I'm going to treat like and
Yeah.
it could be like maybe because last year or the year before, right? People couldn't do
That's
celebrate
right.
because of
We were
COVID,
all
the
restricted.
lockdowns. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be like, okay, this year, like, we're going on a trip, or I bought this big gift, or maybe people are cutting back, or they don't have the money and they're finding other ways to celebrate it or to acknowledge the day.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like that.
I'm wondering too, this just popped into me. If people are going, some people are going deeper and they're thinking, like, do I love the life that I have? Or do I love the life that I'm living? Or that I've created. Because I want to say that's because for me, nuggets would be your material, physical world, right?
Mm-hmm. They are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Security, that's what the nuggets are to me. Earth to me is tangible. It's not this thought, it's not an idea, it's tangible. It's you can hold
Yeah,
it in your hand, and that can be even a sense of security, because all things mean security to different people.
that's
So
right. Yeah, and I guess maybe feeling secure in whatever relationships they have,
mhm,
right? So if
yeah,
you're single, it could be like, do I feel secure? Do I value the relationship I have with myself? Or do I
that's
value my
right.
relationships with my friends, my family, whatever it is, right? And if you're in a relationship, it's like plus that, right?
Yes.
The other thing I want to say is I got an idea. This could be like, let's all make a wish near the end of the show and
Yeah.
see if we can make them come true.
Okay.
So
Love
everyone
that.
start thinking about a wish.
What do you want? We'll use
I
our
know.
magic wands and we'll grant it
Yeah,
for you.
that's right. No one has to type it in the box. You don't have to say it out loud, but just for yourself, start thinking about what one wish would you truly love to have come
That's
true.
right. Set your intentions. I do this every full moon. I set even this wand, I have wands all over my yard outside that I just have a piece of wood, an organic piece of wood from out where I found it outside. And then I take charms and I weave them. And as I'm weaving those charms into my wand here, I'm thinking of intentions of
Mm,
things that make me feel good, not things that I want.
yeah,
It's not a wish stick for me. It's things that make me feel good that I want to bring more of into my life. I have love in this area. I want to bring more of that into. I love that feeling, and I just
yeah,
weave the intention,
yeah. And you
the
have a
intentions
beautiful
in.
wand. You have
Well,
a
thank you.
beautiful wand.
I
Yeah.
just grabbed this one out by my froggy Buddha. I have them out there, so I have a
Did you
whole
make
bunch of them.
that?
I did, yeah. So each charm I weaved on, and I set intentions as I weave, and I have a whole bunch of these outside. I have maybe
Wow. And that's on a
10 or
piece
20.
of wood or?
It's a piece of wood I found. This particular stick I found in California when we went for my mom and dad's 60th anniversary. And if I find straight sticks, I just tuck them away and I keep them because I
Yeah,
know I'm going to make a wand out of them.
yeah, yeah.
I'm very weird.
That's no, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Now you guys get the insight of Julie's weirdness. This is what my husband has put up with for 35 years. God bless Michael Bilella.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even make fun of me.
No, that's great because he loves you. There you go.
He accepts me, is I guess
That's what
what.
love is, right? Love is like,
Yeah,
that's right. It's just being. Yeah, it's
yeah,
just there. It's present. Yeah.
yeah, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm,
I love
that's lovely. Hmm.
that. So set your intention, set what is really good in your life, what is just getting momentum. That's how I try to look at it. What is just gaining momentum? And I'm really liking this. I want to go further with it.
Hmm.
And then that's where I just start setting my intentions of feeling good and feeling happy and content and satisfied, because that's where it starts. It does start with you. I've been there too, where everything is going on in my life, and nobody seems to want me around, and nobody
Hmm.
seems to be connecting with me, and everything I say just doesn't come out right. It's being taken differently than how I'm intending. And so my mind gets going of all the times that's happened to me, all the way back to childhood of being misunderstood, right? You're having all these
Yeah.
wounds we're always healing our whole life. They
Hmm.
say. I don't have any big trauma in my childhood or otherwise. It's all been
Yeah.
me. Um, uh, Coloring these stories as I get older to make them fit whatever I'm feeling in the moment.
Hmm.
So it works that way with love too.
Hmm.
I think back and I think, remember when my mom, comforted me after that really horrible thing I went through, I'm in that energy now. Now I'm up against her chest and I'm gathering that comfort from her.
Hmm.
And then try to get that going. I remember all the times, maybe my Aunt Joy was there and she said this kind word to me, or, all these memories then of when I started feeling better, and then I get that momentum going. I try to. It's so hard
I
when
know.
you're feeling
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And that's why sometimes even that's where when you're in that funk, it's hard to come out of it.
So
That's why
hard.
like that's why I've been practicing love, 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 and more love. I've just been saying it. Even if
Yeah,
I
I love
feel
it.
even if I
Yeah,
don't completely feel it,
yeah.
just
It
saying
gets it
it, and I'll
going.
say it like 3, 4 times in a row, and it's like each time it'll feel better.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and then it's like, okay, what do I love,
yeah,
that I can bring into my life today? And sometimes if it's like, oh, I love chocolate, so I'll have a piece of chocolate, or
yeah. And then you
I
feel that.
love
Yeah,
feeling the
yes,
trees or the birds,
yes.
and it's like, so I'll go outside for a walk or whatever. Yeah. So,
Right. We were
yeah.
talking, my mom and I were talking about that after they had fallen and stuff. We started laughing about the bracelets, help I've fallen and I can't get up. We used to make
Right.
so much fun of that. And here my mom and dad are in that situation. And so we did find ourselves laughing too. Try to find some humor in things too. It's
Yes.
there. It is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and we need to laugh. I feel like laughter hasn't been part of our world the last few
Yeah,
years. That's part of
right.
the
It has.
problem.
Yeah, I'm missing it for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything seems so vital,
Yeah.
and right now I have to get my point across right now. and you don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay to just step back from it and let
Yeah.
it be, laugh at it.
Yeah.
I love Arlene's putting crystals on sticks. I wanted to do that. I tried to do that with some copper wire, but I couldn't get the crystals to stay in place.
Stay.
I'm wondering how she's doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe share how you do that. I'm wondering if she glues it. But you would
Maybe.
probably need really super glue or silicone or
Right?
something.
Oh, glue stick. Glue gun is my friend.
Oh, glue gun. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the glue gun.
Yeah. And then my beautiful friend Tana Smith is here and she's a
Hi,
crafter.
Tan.
So
Yeah.
maybe she knows. I
Yeah.
don't
What
know.
do
I
you,
don't know if she, yeah.
how do you
Maybe a
do that?
glue gun. Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm wondering too if it depends what kind you have to buy, maybe like a certain style of crystal. Let's say they need to be flat or light,
Yeah,
in
maybe.
weight, because maybe the heavier they are, the harder it is. Oh, she uses wire wrap.
Why, that's what I'm using too, is cut like a copper, thin copper.
Mm.
Yeah, wire wrap. I'm going to try that with some crystals.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can buy crystals with tiny little holes in them already. Like how
No.
they make crystal jewelry,
Yeah.
right? And some of these jewelry, like they're threaded, so it's like, well,
Yeah.
unless there's like a tool you can buy to make it, put a little pinhole in it and then wire
Right.
it that way. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's not something I do. I never think of it. Like I didn't get it out. It's somewhere. But I have a pink wooden wand. I've got a wood wand too, but I
Yeah.
painted it bright pink, like my sweater.
Yeah.
And then I put sparkles on it because I like the
Yeah.
sparkles but nothing else because I didn't think of like adding crystals to it. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a
That's a
great
good,
idea. I'm
yeah.
going to try it for sure.
Yeah, this is my
Thank you,
wand
Arlene.
today. This is my wand today.
Let's see. I love your wand. It's got the big puffy heart on it.
Yeah.
That's
My
so
friend gave
cute.
this to me to use for the show
Oh,
today.
really? It's a
Yeah,
borrowed wand.
yeah, it is. So I think it's one of those that are in a plant, or when you get bouquet
Yeah.
of flowers, it comes with this because it was, yeah. So
Right? A wand can be anything.
yeah, that's right. It can be anything. It can be your pen.
Right? It can
Hmm.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah. Put a little
yeah,
bling on it. You got a magic wand.
yeah.
Have you always been? I've always been crafty. I have always been obsessed with the latest craft.
No,
No,
no.
I get OCD on it. I mean, honest to God,
Honestly, no, 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 no,
whether it's crocheting or
no.
I made a bunch of dream catchers. I couldn't think of the word dream catchers. I
Uh,
went on a dream catcher frenzy, jewelry. I mean, anything you can think of,
wow,
I'm
good for you.
there.
No, no.
To me, it's still all about weaving. Even when I was crocheting, it's like meditation for me.
That's interesting. Yeah. No, I want to say I'm kind of flighty with all that stuff. Like, I'm
Yeah,
just like, oh, it's there. And then just to go, I just do my own thing. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. I think if there was any kind of craft that I really liked was the latch hooking, the
Oh,
rugs.
I loved it. Yeah,
But I
loved
don't
it.
know I don't think that's popular nowadays because, well, it's not like I go looking for if there's any for sale, but I don't know
Yeah,
if they're for sale like they were, when I was younger. Because when I was
yeah,
growing up, they were everywhere. Like you could buy, you know,
yeah.
pillows, you
Oh,
could make
I made
pillows, you
them.
could make the rugs,
Oh,
like
yeah.
everything, right? And
Oh, yeah.
nowadays, I don't think it's like that anymore. I don't know,
I don't know.
but yeah.
I think it is because I'm always over at Hobby Lobby, and they always have all kinds of latch hook,
Um,
projects over there.
okay, we don't have Hobby Lobby up here.
Oh, it's
I've never
wonderful.
heard of it. Yeah, it must be an American thing. Yeah, we've
It's
got.
it's for our household, it's Michael's biggest fear because I don't ever go shopping for clothes. Like that's never my thing is to go clothes shopping. But put me in a Hobby Lobby, he's like, oh, so shit.
Yeah, I think our big craft store here is Michael's. Believe it or not, that's what it's
Oh,
called. Do you have
Michael's is here
Michael's?
too. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we
Yeah,
have Michael's.
yeah,
Oh, look at Hazel is an awesome crafter. Arlene's mom. Look at that.
yeah.
I got it from my mom too. My mom is what started me on the crafting
Mm,
kick. Very young age, she taught me how to crochet and all of those things. So yeah.
yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And Josh made a soccer ball. You can still buy them. Really?
Wow. I want to see that. That's
Yeah.
neat.
Right?
Yeah.
Soccer
I'm wondering if
ball.
is it like a real soccer ball, like shaped round? Could you imagine? That'd be neat, eh?
Like a 3D crafted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've seen some of these crafts. Oh my God.
I know some people are. I know. And I think,
Wow.
you have to have um well, don't you need nice to have a space for it?
Yeah.
Like to hold all the stuff. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
just
That's what this room is that I'm sitting in right now. You
yeah.
could see Michael's garden going in the background. He's got like 150 pods going over there for the
Okay.
garden.
Okay. There
There's
you
my
go.
pink love light. See? It's got it
Yeah,
shining
that's
right on
it. It
me.
is nice. Yeah, it is nice. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he
Oh, a
made a rug.
rug with a soccer ball. Yeah, I that is cool. That
That
is
is
really
neat. Yeah,
cool.
good for him. Yeah, that's
Right?
neat. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what are you doing? Are you picking cards or what? Guess I hear you shuffling.
I keep trying to see what's coming out, but it keeps coming out the judgment card. So I'm not reading for anyone in particular. But yeah, this is like calling out your higher self, like your higher
Mm,
power. This card's come out 3 times since I've been shuffling. So
so you go with it then.
I'm going to go with it. So the
Yeah.
judgment card, justice for yourself, though, for your higher self, things you've been fighting for in love forever is starting to come. You're starting to see that. You're starting to see that it is coming to fruition. Things are coming to fruition for you. So whoever is needing to see this card, keep calling yourself out on how you're feeling about love. There's some glitches there that's kind of holding you back in your thoughts about love itself.
Mm,
But as soon as you shift that, the love's going to come in flowing in towards you. But it starts with you. You have to kind of change your mindset about love itself because it's been painful in the past. I had the Nine of Swords pop out right before there. It's been painful in the past for the collective, I guess, is who that card's for. So
yeah.
that's what that card is saying.
Yeah, and it could be like if you are coming across any thoughts or situations where judgment is coming through,
That's right.
just
Send
send
it
it
love.
love. Yeah. Love, love,
Absolutely
love and
send
more
it
love.
love.
Yeah.
Right, and let it
Mhm.
start with yourself. Just love yourself through that. Love you, forgive yourself for your role in it. I think we were hitting on that a little bit
Mhm.
earlier. It's you until we accept our parts in things and the role that we played. We're never just these innocent bystanders when we've been hurt because we allowed certain things to penetrate old wounds that we've triggered, and that's
Mhm.
where that's where it's stemming from, are these old wounds, especially with the judgment card coming out.
Mhm.
So if you could shine a true forgiveness, love energy into those areas of your life, you could really free yourself from the bonds that are holding you back right now, from just allowing yourself to love because you're guarded, with the judgment
Yeah.
card.
Okay.
So it's very important to forgive
Mhm.
and turn it downstream. We keep paddling. I keep thinking of Abraham. She's speaking in my head right now about paddling upstream when it comes to love. We keep saying, I'm going to be loved, I'm going to find someone, I'm going to,
Mm.
it's going to happen, and we get that momentum going, which is great because it gives you something to be excited about. But you just start feeling like a failure because just that thought of it's going to happen means it's not in your life right now. And so you're kind of setting
Mm.
yourself up for disappointment.
Right.
So that's where we have to find the love that is in our life right now and let that expand our heart and put that guard down a little bit. It's been really, really rough in the world with love because we've been on this hunter, masculine uh, path these last couple of years with COVID and the pandemic, and isolation has played a huge, huge role in this
Mhm.
because we've all been just so isolated,
Yeah.
sitting with our own thoughts,
Mhm.
and that's so hard. Isolation is so hard on people, when we're not
Yeah.
social beings, and social media did not help us at all in
Yeah.
that scenario. It
Yeah.
only fueled the fears of the world. It did not fuel the love of the world and the connection of the world. We are truly all connected. We are energy, and
Yeah.
energy can never die, and we're constantly in and out of certain energies. It's never the same because you have all these past experiences that are shaping that energy. So you're never in the same energy as you were before. So you can have a love just blow up on you, divorce, mayhem, chaos, and then you get into a new relationship and you're guarded from this. You can't handle that anymore. It was too hard on you. So you're automatically, just a little bit guarded, and so you bring in things that do soothe that energy of love, and
Mhm.
it starts with you. It starts with allowing that to penetrate you again. So the energy is completely different, no matter what other fight you're going to get in or what kind of energy you're coming across. That dark side of love is never going to be the same. It's never going to be what you went through before, because you've already experienced that, and life is about experience and expansion.
Mm.
So you're constantly expanding that energy of love, and it's non-stoppable. You cannot stop it once it gets going. It's like a train. Once it starts out real slow, and then once
Mhm.
it gets going, you just simply can't stop it. Doesn't matter if you put the
Yeah.
brakes on, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to the world. I know that is coming because we've been through such harshness and such
Yeah.
hunter, gatherer mentality, where we just kind of all went to our corners. And so
Yeah.
now we're coming out, we're emerging, we're right, we're rubbing our eyes going, wait, what, when am I? It's just kind of disorienting, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all has to do with this transition out of that energy, out of that masculine. Not that masculine is bad. Do you know what I'm saying though? That
Yeah.
that live, live and let live kind of went away, and it was like, no, you're going to live my way, right?
Yeah.
And so now we're kind of coming
Authoritarian.
authoritative. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like my way or the highway, or you're
Yes,
out. Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like that's not supposed to be our world. This is a
Yeah.
world we're supposed to be creating. It's like sharing and caring and inclusive. And that's why it's like, okay, I don't have to like you. Maybe I don't want you part of my group, but I can still send you love, or I can just be like, you love your life, then you be, right?
Yeah.
I love life enough to let you live the life that you love. That's, if that makes sense. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
acceptance of everyone, right? Of
Yeah.
others, and
Yeah.
starts with you. So
Yeah.
just accept
That's
yourself
right.
and all of that. There's so much to
Yeah.
you. There's so much beauty.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
it's changing. It really is. I feel that energy shifting. People are really searching for ways to come together again
Yes.
and build a community. And then we went into this huge cycle of victim worshiping almost. It was who was the bigger victim. And yeah, but I was hurt this way. And yeah, but I was hurt that way. And my pain is bigger than yours. And, pain is pain. It's all relative. It's very subjective. It's very objective. It's not, it's very personal. I could have so much pain in my heart from an incident that happened, and it's just as painful as somebody who's been through something else. To me, just like love is love, pain is pain, and so you can't judge somebody's pain. You can't judge that. You can't say, yeah, you had it worse than me,
Hmm.
or why do we want to do that? Why do we want to claim that for ourselves? We're just fighting for
Yeah.
our limitations, and
Yeah. It's not a
and
competition anymore.
it's
Life
not a
is not,
competition anymore.
nothing is
That's
a,
right.
yeah. And we have to, yeah. And that's what we need to move away from.
Yes.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what it is. And it's like, this has been a competitive world for so
Mm-hmm.
long. And even the last few years, it's been about competing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
and
right.
it's like with all these things that have shut down, it's like,
Yeah,
competing for the business now. And it's like,
right.
we can't do that anymore. We can't live our
No,
lives like that anymore.
no, can't judge people by how many followers they have. You know,
Right? Yeah, because it may not be genuine.
that's right.
What's real, right? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's time to I guess, yeah, I just want to say, like, it's time to just like, okay, I keep wanting to say be. It's a time of being.
Yeah, let it be.
Yeah.
I like it.
And like, like, what kind of life do I want to live? And so if it doesn't fit that mold, that's okay. Like, that's the life we should,
Yeah.
be
I like
embracing
that.
more, right? And it's
Yeah.
yeah, and it's funny because I want to say, like, I'm in a point in my life right now where I'm trying to surrender more and more to my intuition, and it's not always easy.
Mm-mm. No.
And so it's like when you do that, it's like you're seeing and you're experiencing things that are falling away and falling out of your life and falling away from you. And
Right.
and then it's like when these layers come apart or fall away, it's like you notice too in your world, like your surrounding world, what doesn't matter anymore, or it's doesn't have the value like maybe it once did, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I feel like, I want, like, this is where it comes down, like, what kind of, meaning does life have for you? And what does life mean to you? And it's like however that's defined, that should be okay. So if that means someone is like, well, right now, my life, has to do with living in a mansion and owning a sports car and making this much money. And if like, well, if that has meaning for you right now, good for you. Right. Like I shouldn't be there judging them or comparing my life, because my life or my meaning of life means something different from them, should not interfere, and we should not be competing. It's like, okay, that's your life, but just because you define your life that way should not mean that's how everyone should live their life either.
Yeah.
If,
Right.
I don't know if
I
that makes
agree.
sense. Yeah.
Right.
So
And be excited for them. Send
yeah,
them excitement. Send them hope that that will happen for them.
yeah,
Be happy that their dreams are coming true. You don't have to
that's right.
begrudge anyone for their dreams coming
That's
true.
right.
It,
Yeah,
but see, then we're following into that. Yeah, but mine aren't. That's where, again, with the law of attraction, it it starts there though, doesn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
I'm happy for you, but what about me?
yeah.
And but just stop there. I'm happy for you.
That's right.
Just
Yeah,
stop there and
that's
move
right.
on.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not easy. I know it's not
it's
easy. That's
not.
why it's
No.
not easy. That's why love, 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 and more love to
Love,
it all.
love, love.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Well, and my grandma told me this so young. Comparison is the thief of joy.
yeah,
And it is. There's so much comparing going on,
yes,
especially with social media. You're
yes,
constantly gauging where you're at compared to the others,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it just steals all your joy. It just
It
it just
does.
does. So
It
where are
does.
you
Yeah,
joyful? Where are you
yeah,
happy? Where are
yeah,
you feeling that emotion of love?
yeah.
And you don't have to share it with the world. You don't have
No,
to.
no.
Just keep it for yourself.
And
Yeah.
that's the other thing that my law of attraction teacher taught was like, love your life.
Yes. Yes.
Cause cause he was sharing a story. He has this friend who, is a bachelor and lives on a boat and like no kids, and he was saying to his friend, like, this teacher, he's saying, like, my gosh, he says, you always are doing something, like you're always like involved with some sort of project or idea. And he says, I feel like I'm not accomplishing anything, like because he says, I live this quiet life.
Yeah.
I'm on this
Very.
boat, and sometimes he says, like, I'll set sail for somewhere and I'll be in the middle of nowhere, and I don't like the outside, I leave the outside world, and the teacher says to him, so what? Don't you love your life? Like,
Yeah. So what?
you pick that lifestyle, you pick that life, love it,
Yeah. Right?
own it,
I love
be,
that.
that's who you are.
Own
So,
it.
so
I
what?
love
Yeah. And
that.
he says, so what? He says, my life, he says, yeah, like I'm busy, I'm doing this, but he says, because I love that. I love doing that. That's the
Yeah.
kind of life I love to live. So he
But
says,
how many
yeah,
people would love to be that guy in the boat out in the
I
middle of
know,
nowhere,
that's it.
right? I mean, it's all comparison is the thief
That's
of
right.
joy,
That's
right?
right. Yes. And that's where, like, and this is, I think our dilemma with society is, um, they say work hard to create this kind of lifestyle, and let's say it's the quiet retired lifestyle, and then and if you do happen to already live it, and then it's like, oh, but you have to keep busy because blah blah, all these people are doing these projects, and
Yeah.
like, and I don't know if
Right.
people follow celebrities. I try not to follow celebrities, but it's
Right.
like, they do, they sing, they dance, they act, they produce, like whatever they
Have it
all
all.
do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then then it makes you feel like, well, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'm, excuse my language, is like, I do fuck all compared to this person, or my life
Mhm.
has no, and you feel like you have no meaning. And then,
Yeah.
and you go down
Yeah.
that road, and it's like, no, that's where you're saying, like, yeah, don't compare, because,
Yeah.
yeah,
People
it's,
would love to have your life. People dream about having the life
yeah,
you have right now. Yeah.
yeah. And that's where it's like, you have to make peace and love the life that you've created. And it's not always easy to do, especially, if you find yourself checking in, what's going on with this person, or what's going on here. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, but what am I
Yeah.
contributing? And that's where, like, well, some of the greatest spiritual teachers sat in silence, or sat with their projects. They didn't
Yeah. That's
go
right.
and, right, like, look at
Yeah.
Buddha,
That's
the
right.
things
It was
he
very
created.
personal journey.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's, if a lot of it was from just sitting underneath the tree for hours on end. And yeah, so
That's right.
anyways, that's just, I don't know how we got down this road, but
I
we
don't
did.
either. But Arlene is spot on with this group. I am
uh,
so grateful for
oh,
every single one of you, every single one of you who have showed up here and been present for us for a year and a half now. We're
yes.
trying to be better people. We're pushing each other to be better, to strive further, to thrive, and we
Mm.
deserve to be able to thrive. We deserve that.
Yeah,
So
and
let's do that.
I love that,
Yeah.
Julie. Oh, thank you. And I want to share that, part of the vision of creating this show is to, embrace and share, not, it's not just about knowledge, but like life wisdoms,
Yeah.
and to work things out together, and to feel like we're not alone, and to love each other through it all, I guess I want to say.
Yes.
Like, to
I love
find
that.
community, and to feel like we're part of, um, a group where, we we're accepted for who we are,
Right.
no matter what. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acceptance. Yeah, I love that. We'll always accept you here.
Yeah.
Unless you're a spammer during our free reads, then go
That's
away.
right. Yeah. Then go away. All right. Well, we've been on for an hour, and I
let's
said we'd do this show for an hour, so
let's do that. Yeah.
let's
I
close the
like that.
show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it
So,
was great. Yes.
yeah. So, if anybody else who's listening still, and you're still here, or if you're watching the replay afterwards, this is great. This is the time we're going to sit in silence for a moment, and take a deep breath in, and think of the wish. Like, think of something like you truly would care to have, whether it's for yourself, for your life, for a loved one. Hopefully it's for you, for your life, because why
Yeah.
not, right?
Why
Why not?
not? Do it for you.
Do
Let's
it for
just do it
you.
for
Pick
us.
something
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
Okay, something that speaks to your heart. And you don't have to, again, you don't have to say anything in this chat room about it. You can keep it to yourself. So if you're thinking about it, I'm thinking of mine. Julie, are you thinking of yours?
I am. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to take a second deep breath. Now that you were thinking of it in the first breath, like, put that, what you would love to have, put that in your mind right now. Breathe that in, that wish. And one third time. And surround that with love. Just think of that wish in a bubble of love. It's floating in front of your heart center. And with that, I boop everyone's heart. Boop, boop your heart. Everyone that's watching, we're making it come true.
That's you. We'll make it a
It'll
big
be
deal.
interesting, yeah. And if anybody's wish does come true, you're gonna have to let us know.
Please do. Yes,
Because I don't
I
know if
want
this
to
is gonna work.
hear.
This could just be
It's gonna work. Don't do
it's gonna
put
work.
putting
Boop
that
boop.
out there.
Yeah,
It's gonna work.
yeah, yeah. So everyone's wish, love, lots, love, 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 and more love.
Love, 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 and more love. Thank you so much, Tina. What beautiful messages today.
Oh, yes. And thank you everyone for being here and sharing and your presence. It was heartfelt. Oh, and even the dogs
Yep.
agree.
Even the
Look
dogs
at they're
agree.
sharing love.
They're loving us. All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, everyone. Stay safe, be well. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Love Day.
Yes.
And love, 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 and more love to you all.
Yes. Love and light,
Okay.
everyone.
Okay. Bye. Oh,
Bye.
one more thing. We're not
Yes.
here next week.
Oh, that's right. We're taking a break.
Yeah. So next Monday's a holiday in parts of Canada.
Yes.
Maybe in the States too, I think.
I don't know. Maybe something. I'll be working, of course, but
Okay.
I'll be
So,
sending you
but
all
yeah.
love.
Yeah. So have a lovely, lovely next couple of weeks, everyone. See you at the end of the month.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.